Hello everyone, this is Maffuman coming at you with StarCraft Star Battle. We have a 6-on-6 ship-building action game starring War, the battle cruiser, starting off with missiles, Slappy, the battle cruiser, starting off with missiles. We got Blunt Force coming in as an overlord with Plague. Ghetto SC has some extra range on his everything, his laser batteries and his missiles. Lost Z Tail, starting with Bioswarm, and he has In-Flight Evolving. And let's see who else we have. Lost Tail says A, OV, mid. And, okay, we're going to not see who that person is just yet. We got a Good Vent going in the middle, and Blunt Force decides to join him. Blunt Force decides to plague him. There we go. We got Father of War. We have a very big old box of text from Lost Tail. But Father of War started off with a Void Ray. Started off with a little bit of the lasers to farm and blink to get the heck out of there. Darth Sopa starting off as well with the Colossus, so we got two Colossi. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Colossi. Make everybody upset, grammatically. And a Hamilcar with a Guardian. Guardian has little things. We got up there the Leviathan, kind of started off in flight, so they're basically kind of even on there. In-flight upgrades are just so good, everybody has to get them. And everybody has to get them because they're trying to farm, like the blue guy is, not be attacked like the red guy is. Darth Sopa slapping them around. He actually doesn't have, neither of them have a minimum range on their missiles, so they're both just kind of firing. Father of War said, hey, I was here to farm, and you guys are making me not be able to farm, so let me just poke around with Lost Z Tail, and, you know, hopefully push him back. And he kind of does. He's kind of beefy enough to, like, slap them around. There's some action going on in the middle as well. So we're going to try to split our eyes and go both ways. Eo Changi better get Eo out of there because he's being attacked. He doesn't have any shields left. He has 3,000 life. He probably is going to have to forcibly retreat, probably get into the burning but not actually die. I don't see anybody starting off with anything like a Yamato cannon or something crazy, so just the missiles are enough to like push him back but not necessarily kill him. And Good Vent also has to kind of get on out of there. He's a shield tank with very few shields left. You can count them. I'm not going to. Slappy getting slapped around. Slappy getting slapped around by a very out-of-shields Father of War and Darth Sopa, who's almost at full health. Now, neither of them can kind of push. Father of War should push back eventually, but Slappy is getting slapped around, and there are plenty of missiles to go around, but it's enough to scare away everybody. Father of War does rightfully blink away, but Darth Sopa keeps on pushing, gets Slappy. Slappy is trying to use the rocks as protection, and the entire red side is like, wait a second, hold on, we're being attacked. Our guy still has 500 life. Maybe we can try to push him. Darth Sopa has shields, but he's only a shield tag. Boing goes Ghetto SC. But now is Darth Sopa going to be... there's only one life in this game. Is he going to be able to get back? He was able to kill somebody, which is nice, but is he able to get back? Good Vent saying, hey, I could also be a pretty big tank over here. Let me see if he tries to do something similar. We're going to keep our eye on the Colossus right here. Colossus, and he might go down. It's a 1-for-1. 1-for-1 in the very beginning. Battle cruiser and a frigate being exchanged. Lost Z Tail is kind of pushing back. He has enough. He was able to in-flight upgrade. He has tentacles. Tentacles are great for slapping people around at close range. And oh, hey, Minuto, look at you. You were not involved in that battle whatsoever. You were just farming this whole time. So look at you. You have 7 tentacles and 8 Bioswarm upgrades. So you are like super well upgraded, but you're also super alone. Minuto, you gotta get on back there. Is it going to be enough? Eo Changi coming in as a frigate, kind of like a missile support, but you know what? You both got to get out of there. There are still 3, 4, or possibly even 5 ships on you, or they were. So now there's 4 guys. Boinging on the rocks is Blunt Force a little bit. He's out of energy anyway, so he couldn't quite get off the plague, but he's also boinged a little bit off the rocks, so he can't get one if he's not in position. Good Vent saying, yeah, no, I'm not going to attack that. War. What is it good for? Firing missiles right now, and probably having to retreat. It is a 5. It's usually a 5 versus 5, but now it's but it used to go 6 versus 6. Now it's a 5 versus 5. And everybody's got to get on back. Hammer, you got to get on out of there. You only have 1.61 speed. You're going to be slapped around by Eo Chang. He has 10 range and 1.71 speed. You're not escaping him. It's kind of guaranteed damage, but depending on his flight path, he could take more or less damage. And depending on how many people are joining up on him, we have Goodfent attacking. He's kind of staying back a little bit. He has to be the tank. He doesn't have very much life to tank around. And the Void Ray had to, kind of retreat a little bit. He didn't want to commit too much to that. He wasn't going to kill a Guardian in the very beginning of the game. We got Blunt Force kind of trying to farm as much as he can. He doesn't have very much life or very much energy, but also doesn't have very much money. He also invested in the very beginning with a fancy ability, Plague, as, is relatively standard, but it's relatively standard then to put yourself at a farming disadvantage, logically. Yes, Plague is great. Yes, you used it. Yes, you're out of energy, so you now have to, wait for it and get some money. The best way of farming for an Overlord is Mutalisks, but Mutalisks are kind of not the greatest against capital ships. They're really just for farming. You can upgrade them as much as you'd like to make them good against capital ships, but if you're designed to try to farm, it's not the best, because your other option is Energy Blast. Energy Blast is a 5 range maximum, and that's pretty horrible. So, lost the tail, pushing him back. Minuto is retreating, but lost Z-Tail, upgraded Rapid Regeneration. Now, he did that because there's no possibility of him ever getting his energy drained, ever? So, that was a great idea. Helps out a little bit. It restores 1832 life over 5 seconds. You can upgrade, I believe, how quick the cooldown is, and you can upgrade how much you're regenerating. So keep on doing that. He's going to have a little bit. Slappy left the game. He was the guy who was unfortunately killed in the very beginning in that kind of like very quick open air exchange right there. We have Minuto. Yeah, he was trying to farm. Yeah, he has quite a bunch of money. So he has a 253 kills versus the other Leviathan 144. So Minuto, because he was able to farm, was able to get a lot more money and a lot more farm. So they have to kind of retreat. Blue side, relatively staying at base, not doing too much. Goodfent saying, I do want to farm, but I can't really right now. The Little Sky Furies shooting their 240 damage to massive and 140 to structures at 15 range. Spawned just by the base. They're just the happy house Sky Furies. I guess if they're Furies, they're not very happy. Anyway, and they're just shooting range, and you can try to kill them, and that's why you got some tanks, and that's why there's tanks. That's why the Minuto's just trying to go up there. He didn't upgrade anything fancy so far. He just upgraded, he's just kind of naturally larger, He doesn't need enhancements. He has 18,500 life as opposed to 15,000 life. So even though he's at half health, his half health is 10,000 life, as opposed to other people other people's, most of their life is 10,000 life. So, team compositionally, we have 2-1-2 missile boats, one Guardian who went for Scourge, which is kind of like a, all-in heavy one-shot damage thing. Launches a bunch of Scourge, releases a swarm of 12 Scourge flying towards the target. Each Scourge has 120 life, and deals up to 250 damage, area damage when hit or when destroyed. So 120 life is quite a bunch. So your best defense is, Hamilcar also have some Scourge. Your best defense is to get some lasers. Or maybe if you're Goodfent, going for some Thermal Lance, which he doesn't have. Or some Hardened Shield. There's other options. All I'm trying to say is that Scourge are good, but not my favorite upgrade to get, because they do kind of channel you a little bit. And the blue side has a lot more of a tank build. Look at this. It's got one tank, two tanks, one missile boat, one sort of fancy missile boat as well, and a Void Ray to do some damage. So they basically have like a brass band that's made of like 2 tubas, a trumpet, and like a couple saxophones. They're nice. They're just kind of missing out on like some other stuff. in the band. Eo Changi's getting slapped around, but Lost Tail being the only tank can't really do it. He's like the tuba. Then we got like the conductor over there with Overlord. Hey, I'm gonna come in, do some cool stuff, drop some plagues on you, tell you guys to like go Panissimo, then Forte, but then I'm gonna get shot by Scourge, slapping them down. Guess who was the band nerd? Guess who's the band nerd over here? Yeah, it was probably you. Anyway, we got Lost Tail pushing him back. He has rapid regeneration, and he has 425, so he can now support his 100 ability pretty darn well. Good vet. You see those little like splashes? That's all the hardened shield. Hardened shield reduces every damage in the next 57 attacks up to a maximum of 50. So longboat missiles from this guy do 116. They can only do up to 50. So that's a great reduction. And the interesting part about this is that that this is not rock paper scissors. That this is not rock paper scissors. This is not to say that, oh look, red side has two things that obviously can drain energy, and therefore they will. You could drain energy. You might not. You might decide to be like Blunt Force, get Plague, and decide that you're just poor and have to use some of this $960 to buy something. And maybe it's the Plague upgrade, maybe it's more energy for something else, but it doesn't necessarily have to be drain. It could be. It should be, maybe, but it doesn't have to be. It could be though. Same thing like War. War just went for missiles because hey, 2 missile boats is pretty nice. He doesn't have to go for lockdown. And blue side, knowing that they don't have a healer, are being a little bit cautious. Father of War, he went for some charge. He says, you know what, as long as I have energy, I'm a crazy threat. Ooh, Minuto pushing him back, up, and then retreating. And you can see the Hamilcar is kind of like channel right there while he shoots his, shoots the Scourge. Come on, little Scourge buddies, how much are you gonna do? Oh, they retargeted in flight and hit Father of War. They do that sometimes. It's crazy. So, we got Blunt Force staying around where the Sky Furies are, sort of being their protection, but not being very good at protection. So he's using his Mutalist upgraded once, just, you know, a little bit to protect those guys. Blue side does advance, red side does retreat. Not necessarily in sync. Boinging on the rocks is hammer, boinging on the rocks. Rocks are solid on this game. Rocks are solid in this game. This isn't like Warships where there's body blocking, but we get to worry about like the few objects in the way. And because game physics are amazing, you boing. You don't actually like stop all your momentum. You boing, you boing, you boing. Lost Tail saying, just go back, I won't save you. Ouch. He could. He can shoot his missiles, and he, like, could save him a little bit more than he was. But he was, you know, trying to teach him a little lesson there. And the lesson was Scourge are kind of cool. Scourge are kind of cool. Oh, and that's where Good Vent has Thermal Lance. Thermal Lance is a fantastic way of getting rid of Scourge. We said the Scourge have 125 life, and he does 125 damage to light units. Plus 1,006 more to massive, and that's gonna kill Scourge in one shot. It's a skill shot, but it's a one-shot skill shot that could work. Father of War deciding that you know, I'm kind of almost about to die. It's only scoot on out of there with my 1.96 speed and blink. Lost Tail reminding us about Pythagorean theorem, and that the fastest way around a triangle is probably it's wrong. I know. It's a straight line. I got excited. I had to go for a math joke. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Like Goobent, he's trying to retreat, and he couldn't get out of the way of that plague because he's thick. He's too thick. He does 100, and he's also being having his energy drained. Now, reasonably, ooh, there's a swing and a miss. A field goal from Ghetto SC. Oh man, Goodven, you are thick, and you were too thick to avoid the plague, but you were quick enough to avoid the imminent death of the red beam of death. Changi also retreated out of the way. A second plague. Ooh. Oh, actually, Goodven escapes it, but Minuto does not. He was just a minute too late. All right. And you see, Blunt Force does go for the Siphon Energy. reasonable ability. He now has 2 fancy abilities. He now has a need for 550 energy, which costs quite a bunch of money to get up there. So he didn't upgrade his plague, I don't believe. I don't believe so. Nope, he didn't, because it still costs 100 energy, not 125. Or 150, I mean, I'm sorry. And that just goes to show that you can do it. War still hasn't gone. He's still staying with his battlecruiser stuff. It does drain energy, which is great, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 targets to drain energy from, realistically. Probably the best thing that the blue side can do is just ignore it. You know what? Hey, you know what? If you can drain 300 energy, I'm gonna get 600. If you can drain, that's all you can ever drain. So let's do it. Ooh, juked it. Guardian jukes it. Launches some Scourge at War. And now you see everybody was shooting their little lasers. The best one of the better defenses against Scourge is to just team up with your buddies, and it still does damage. But there was probably a few of them that did not make it through. Energy drain from Good Vent. Good Vent. Get his energy drains. Still has to contend with the shields though. Even if he gets a plague or something, still has to contend with shields, which is pretty nice. Lost Detail suggesting a warp trick. Ghetto saying yes. Let's see if the red side actually goes and does that. Could be an idea. They have to contend with 2 tanks. 2 tanks can easily kind of bully them around. They only have 1 tank. They have some missile boats and some fancy stuff, but they do have to contend with tanks. So Lost Detail says, hey, warp to me. It will be a secret. It's a secret for everyone. But kind of spotted by Hamilcar. Hamilcar. Hammer and Hamilcar are the 2 guardians, and I think he might have seen them. Did he see it? We're going to see if he saw it. It's a seesaw. And they're saying to go on Hamilcar. Let's see. Ghetto C warps in to get kind of behind them. The blue side is kind of making a Oreo cookie right here with pain in the middle. Hamilcar getting slapped down. Oh, he has a Scourge, but Scourge slow you down when you shoot them. He is shooting them. He's shooting them at the Overlord, but he's channeled slightly and he has to go back. And there's still some attacks. Everybody's kind of pushing. Ghetto SC with the perfect. Oh, and it does hit. Okay, it does. Oh my gosh, there's going to be an almost perfect field goal, but it does hit Good Vent. Good Vent is a shield tank who's almost out of shields entirely. Hamilcar is being pushed, and he makes it out with 1,000 life right now. Good Vent also pushing. We got the Leviathan on Leviathan action right there. Leviathan is basically the best healer in the game right now because he's the only person who can heal himself. Hamilcar burns down. You burn down after a certain point. Minuto is also in the burning right now, and he also has people on him right now. The invincibility shield for saves the Colossus, but is that going to be enough to save Minuto? Minuto has a minute left to live, and he does get taken out by Ghetto SC. Lost Detail also gets taken out. It was a great push. Father of War, what are you doing? You only have so much life. You also, dude, get taken out right there. And Good Vent trying to retreat. He used his vulnerability shield. I call it invincibility shield. It's actually a vulnerability shield. It actually does make a difference, grammatically and in the game. It kept him alive, made him invulnerable to any damage. Hammer staying with the Sky Furies and launching some interceptors. EO Changi, you have to retreat a little bit. But everybody in the red side is in the nice fall colors of orange and death. All right, we have Hamilcar staying with the Sky Furies, launching his Scourge at the Warp Prism, trying to take it out. They may or may not be able to do a little bit of damage, but they have to be careful. The blue side is at full health. Hammer is staying right there. There's a EO Chang, he's moving up. The Good Vent using his thermal lance. One more could really take him out, and he does to it. Okay, they do take out Hammer. They drop the hammer, as the very poorly impersonated Thor does say. Good Vent pushing it out. He can also take out Ghetto SC if Ghetto SC is not fast enough. He does. Okay, Good Vent makes a turn, doesn't attack him. EO Chang is trying to push out away War. War was using his defensive shield, which gives him a little bit of extra life, and that probably was enough extra life. 2,200 damage was saved by using that shield. Otherwise, these missiles would have slapped him around. And Hammer, saying that, people shouldn't be afraid of death. Death is a construct. Death is a natural part of this life. Luminary beings are we. I'm gonna get sued by Disney. Alright, just as Maffuman casting is blowing up, gets bought by Disney. The American dream is solid. Let's see. Red side is retreating very happily in their base. Now, Goodfen has invulnerability shield, so he can dive at any point and be unafraid of taking any damage. It lasts for 15 seconds of just pure power overwhelming, not taking any damage. War going in. Now he does have lockdown, and he is using his defensive shield. But his defensive shield kind of is like really just a necessity at this point. That's necessity at this point because Changi just does so much damage at range. And he also is using his afterburners, so try to escape them. Now, is that going to be enough to escape from Blunt Force? Blunt Force has 1.92 speed. Changi has 1.82, and he has to basically use his afterburners to escape. Each shot, each Kamehameha blast is doing 828, 25. One more shot would take him out. He's using his afterburners. Burn, 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 baby, burn. Disco Inferno. And he has a plague. A plague is on him. He's running out of life. He's running out of life. Invulnerability shield. Using that. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, Frigate. You have to make it back to base. You have 300 life. No, he does make it back to base. Okay, the Frigate does make it back to base. And there's a in-base torpedo. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss from Ghetto SC. Trying to be crazy. Trying to take out Changi. But it was a completely blind shot. Completely blind shot. You can't actually see from Ghetto SC's perspective where they are. Plus, he's probably about to being shot there. But if Changi was in base, and got torped, oh, he would have been deleted right there. But he wasn't. War, what is it good for? Now it's also good for lockdown, which drains energy, and defensive shield. So he kind of said, hey, I can never really be as missile-y. Well, even though I have more missiles. I can be as missile-y as a frigate. I can also be more tanky than a frigate, because we don't have a tank. We have somebody who can be kind of like tank-esque, tank-ish, alicious, but not necessarily a tank. So, trying your best here. It's like having it's like being kind of balding and kind of using a comb over, You can be hair-ish, you can be hair-like, but not necessarily hairy. Blunt Force, you are very speedy Overlord. 1.92 speed is kind of unusual for an Overlord. They might get 1.82 speed, but he actually cranked out the money to buy the 1.92 speed because he said, hey, I'm basically a flying gun. I basically have my ability that I love, Psyblast and Plague and draining energy, but I need to not die because I have only 11,000 life, which isn't very much, and I can only attack with my regular energy blast at 5 range, which is pathetic, and bio discharge at 8, which is not so good either. So somebody like Changi, if he stays at range, you can just keep on slapping him down. But he just has the 1.82 speed. So Lost Z-Tail telling us that they are at a higher rating than any of you. So bigger nerd peens, but balanced out. The game says that it's a 16 on 16. So though the blue team may be better, like in a straight up fight me one-on-one IRL fight, in game the blue team kind of averages out to be just as good as them. And that's how game works. It tries to keep it a little balanced. You have rankings and all that, but it tries to make it so if somebody was ridiculously good and somebody was ridiculously bad, you wouldn't you want to be incentivized. Unlike Heroes of the Storm, which is really defeating when you're in the one that isn't quick match and you die and you wasted an entire 20 minutes and you're because it's just a plus system. A plus one, lose one. Win a game, lose a game. Basically 200 points each time, but there's no point. And there is a swing and a miss from Ghetto SC. Swing and a miss from Ghetto SC. Could be a game. Every time a Ghetto SC swings and misses, an angel gets its wings. We are literally too many angels right now. Colossus using his happy bubble. His happy bubble is Guardian Shield. Happy bubble Guardian Shield right there. It's reducing the damage in the area by 40, and it lasts for like freaking ever. So all the missiles that they could ever fire at it in the world were doing 40% less, and he was probably using hardened shield as well. And basically, as long as this guy has energy, he is pretty crazy. And that's where, even though there's lockdown, and even though Blunt Force has Siphon, even though they have Siphon, even though they have Siphon Energy and Lockdown, he better use his abilities. He has 600, which costs a lot of money, and he's using it. He's using it right now. Also, guys, a vulnerability shield. Let's see. We got Ghetto SCs going in, slapping around. He spent $400 on his Fusion Torpedo, which is his, I'm gonna call it ultimate ability. It's the one that costs the most money, but he got one once. You know, it's a skill shot. The invulnerability shield is a little bit less of a skill shot. It's just really good. It also costs $400, and that's where the red side is retreating. They really don't want to do very much. Plus, they say, "Hey, Ovi's low on energy, so you know what? He's our happy little blimp who shoots stuff at damage, shoots up at range for energy." So they're just deciding to go back. Let's see. Ghetto SC has 575. Blunt Force is 1,565. Oh my gosh, and a healthy 598. You know, if Ghetto SC and War were playing prices right, War is like a little bit ahead of them. You know, Blunt Force has so much money, kind of a ridiculous amount, but the amount of money that you might get when you like farm for a long time. Now let's see. We're trying to make up some farming time. Both of them can do some stuff to go and try to punish the red side for retreating, but they have to retreat. So this is kind of where they kind of get a little breathing room. But they really don't seem like they're going to stay too long in the base, too long at the other side's base. Eo Changi has so many missiles, like fantastic missiles, by the way. Definitely winning the missile race. So 11, doing 137 at attacking 8 times at 12 range, compared to Ghetto's 109, attacking 10 times at 12 range. Mathematically could be comparable. I'm not really sure, but they're basically designed for other stuff. Ghetto SC decided to go for the Fusion Torpedo, and that was a huge money investment. And money investments are one thing, but it's also time that you're investing it. So what I mean by that is, if you buy a fancy ability in the very beginning, you don't have enough money to really dedicated to farm. He had more money to dedicate to farm. He has a lot more farm. Okay, so look at that. Ghetto SC's 513, 597. You know what I mean? So War's going in and slapping him around. He is the tank, so he's actually okay with being shot right now. And the red side is trying to attack the tower, and they do take it out. They're trying to reduce the amount of space that the blue side has to retreat back into. War being tank-esque, but not being a tank, and doesn't have, and invulnerability shield is active. Now when you're invulnerable, you also can't be drained. You can't have your missiles do anything. So he's using his. Oh, there's a fusion torpedo. And it does. It hits Eo Changi. War is still in the danger zone. Highway through the danger zone. No, right into the danger zone. We got Blunt Force trying to use his little missile attack. Uses a Kamehameha attack, side blast, and Good Vent does try to go in. Now, does Good Vent commit to attacking the Overlord? No, he doesn't. He has to retreat. And he does get one little, like, get out of here, side blast off. Ghetto SC, he used his fusion torpedo. It did hit somebody. We got the base back to being attacked, and War is kind of pushing that a little bit, trying to stay in the area. Even though the cannon is doing 200 damage at 10 range, it's just a matter of time before they eventually take it out. Won't happen right now, though. It might not happen right now, though, because the Colossus showed up just in time to get a little bit of a lockdown as well. But just in time, nonetheless, to save the Warp Prism. Let's see. I'm gonna keep an eye on the Warp Prism. And we got the Battle Cruiser kind of using his defensive matrix. He upgraded it a bunch more, so now it saves it adds an extra 3,500 damage. So it's kind of like adding an extra 3,500 damage to your already whatever life you already start off with. And we got Blunt Force trying to farm. He has to do this at 11. They're still really just there for farm. And he plagues some pure Phoenix. Poor Phoenix. They go in there. They're like, hey, we're just here for farming. Why would you murder us with your plague? Well, you know, I was going for somebody else. But you got caught in the splash zone. You know. It's like going to a Gallagher concert and then Shamu gets you. Something like that. I've never been to SeaWorld. Never been to SeaWorld. And we got Good Vent. He's also farming. Basically what they're doing right now is they're staying in lane. They do love each other, but they're like staying a little bit away from each other because they love each other so much. Like my, you know, like you know, everything's fine. We're just sleeping in separate beds. And what's happening is they're both staying in their lane because there's only a finite amount of money in the form of little ships that you can get at a certain time. They're going to be going out the middle. So if one guy goes in the middle and one guy goes to the side, everybody in the middle, the guy in the middle gets the middle farm, the guy on the side gets the side farm. And that's a good way of splitting it up. Blunt Force showing him why it's scary to be an overlord, and kind of hitting him away. He does have plenty of money. Oh, and they both juke it. The Plague is a skill shot, hits an effect, wasn't very much other, wasn't anything to affect in that area. And you see our little buddy, the Warp Prism, he has a lot more shields than he does with his health. He's regenerating health kind of slowly, and shields a little bit quicker. And here is at the Korog, the tower. I love typing. Typing is great. Everybody attacked the Korog, but the Good Vent's defending the Korog right there with his Guardian Shield. As long as he has energy, he's a threat right there. There is a nuke! There's a nuke on Good Vent! Good Vent being in the blackout right now for the after effects of that right there. And there is a swing and a miss from Ghetto SC. Io Changi attacking. War does not have very much health left and not very much energy, but he was able to escape with the help of his friends. Let's see. And these cute little Tempests coming in at random intervals, but the random intervals that they chose and the path that they chose were just fine, and just enough time to give Io Changi a little bit of time to get back. Oh my god, look at those missiles. 200 damage, shooting 8 times at range 12. 200 times 8 is quite a bunch of slappiness. R.I.P. Slappy. What if he stayed in the game? Let's see. And Good Vent kind of keeping on pushing as long as he's a threat, and he has 17 upgrades on his shields anyway, so like his shields are just tanking 26, which is much more than anybody else. Yeah, look at this. Even if he has no abilities, if he has no abilities whatsoever, he's tanking 26 armor with his shields. So he has up to 15,500 life, which is so much, right? And each one of the 15,500 tanks 26 damage. And then he has some like kind of wimpy Protoss armor afterwards. Nobody else has that. Nobody else has anything close to that. The most armored person right here is Blunt Force, who has 8 armor, and because he has 3 upgrades. The Ghetto SC has 5 armor because he has 1 upgrade. War has 4 armor because he has 0 upgrades. So he's really just relying on his defensive shield to be his like health. You know what I mean? Differences in what a late game tank can be. Yes, he's tanky even without abilities. So when he has abilities, oh, he is like a tank on top of a tank. He's like, you know, one of those. Please comment what they actually are. But they're like those, like, you know, Russian tanks that had like the two guns. You're like, hey, you know what's cool? Guns. You know what's cool? Cooler than 1 gun on your tank? Double guns. Blunt Force coming in, using his play because he knows he has to do something. He has to do something because Good Vent has so much shields that he has to try to do something about that. Now, the plague burns right through the hull damage, not against the shields. So what he's hoping on is that if he can get like 2, 3, 4, you know, plagues on them, then the Colossus will be burning, and after they get rid of the shield, which is a task amongst itself, then there'll be nothing else left. Sometimes the Colossus can escape because they still have life after shields, after shields, after shields. Thank you, Cher. Also, don't sue me. And so War is going in there. War is going to push up Io Changi a little bit. They're somewhat in the missile attack. Obviously, Io Changi's missiles are just better, but War has a lot more extra shield life, some abilities, and Blunt Force is really just trying to take out Goofan. Goofan has 1.7 wind speed, so Blunt Force is much faster. Oh, and there's a Warp in, Io Changi, come on, get inside the Guardian's shield bubble. The Guardian's shield bubble went away. Oh, and there's a nuke. Oh, and it hits both of them, but it does take out Io Changi. Io Changi, getting attacked. Goofan was in perfectly fine position. He does use his invulnerability shield. He's using his lasers and thermal lance to take out Ghetto SC, and will be able to do it. He has 10,000 life, and he's perfectly tanky, and the battlecruiser is nowhere in the position to attack. So will they be able to take out Ghetto SC, or will Goofan have to reach out? He's out of energy. He's out of almost everything else, and an attack does take out the Colossus, and that is a good game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Press like, press subscribe. And we're doing StarCraft Star Battle all the time, and send all your casts to maffumancasting@gmail.com to have some more fun all the time.